Well, oh dear. So the previous stream appears to have stopped because I turned off the laptop. I am stupid. Yeah. Right, okay. Time to get back into it then, I guess. Oh boy, Zooey. Let me just make sure that I am actually, in fact, factuality live. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Actually, in fact, factuality live. Right, okay, here we go. The voice of thy brother's blood crieth to me from the earth. Now therefore cursed shall thou be upon the earth, which thy hath opened her, which hath opened her mouth, and received the blood of thy brother at thy hand. When thou shalt till it, it shall not yield to thee its fruit. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be upon the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, Mine iniquity is greater than I may deserve pardon. Behold, thou dost cast me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face I shall be hid, and I shall be a vagabond and a fugitive on the earth. Every one therefore that findeth me shall kill me. And the Lord said to him, No, it shall not be so be. But whosoever shall kill Cain shall be punished sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, and whoever's found him should not kill him. And Cain went out from the face of the Lord, and dwelt as a fugitive on the earth, at the east side of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and brought forth Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name thereof by the name of his son Enoch. And Enoch begot Irad, and Irad begot Mavel, and Mavel begot Mathusael, and Mathusael begot Lamech, who took two wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the other was Selah. And Ada brought forth Jabal, who was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of herdsmen, and his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of them that play upon the harp and the organs. Selah also brought forth Tubal-Cain, who is a hammerer and an artificer in every work of brass and iron. and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives Ada and Selah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken to my speech, for I have slain a man to the wounding of myself, and a stripling to my own bruising. Sevenfold vengeance shall be taken for Cain, but Lamech's 70 times sevenfold. Adam also knew his wife again, and she brought forth a son, and called him his name Seth, saying, God hath given me another seed for Abel, whom Cain slew. But to Seth also was born a son, whom he called Enos. This man began to call upon the name of the Lord. This is the book of the generation of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him to the likeness of God. He created them male and female, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son, to his own image and likeness, and called him Seth. And the days of Adam, after he begot Seth, were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the time that Adam lived came to 930 years, and he died. Seth also lived 105 years, and begot Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begot Canaan. After whose birth he lived 815 years, and begot sons and daughters. And after all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and begot Malaleel. And Canaan lived after he begot Malaleel 840 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Cain were 910 years, and he died. And Malaleel lived 65 years, and begot Jared. And Malaleel lived after he begot Jared 830 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Malaleel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and begot Henoch. And Jared lived, after he begot Henoch, 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Henoch lived 65 years, and begot Methuselah. And Henoch walked with God, and lived after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Henoch were 365 years. And he walked with God, and was seen no more, because God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. And Methuselah lived long after he begot Lamech, 782 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same nail shall comfort us from the works and labours of our hands of the earth, which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived long after he begot Noah, 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech came to 777 years, and he died. And Noah, when he was 500 years old, begot Sem, Sham, and Japheth. How many chapters are there in Genesis? Give me a second. There's 50 chapters. Oh no! Oh, what have I done? Oh dear God. Oh no. Alright. And after that men began to be multiplied upon the earth, and daughters were born to them. The sons of God, seeing their daughters of men, that they were fair, took to themselves the wives, of which all of which they choose. Give me a second. And God said, My spirit shall not return in man forever, because he is flesh, and his day shall be 120 years. Now giants were upon the earth in those days, for after the sons of God went into daughters of men, and they brought forth children. Those were mighty men of old, men of renown. And God, seeing that the wickedness of men was great on the earth, and that all the thought of their hearts was bent upon evil at all times, it repented him that he had made man on the earth, and being touched inwardly with sorrow of heart, he said, I will destroy man, whom I have created, from the face of the earth, from man even to beasts, from the creeping things even to the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace before the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just and perfect man in his generations. He walked with God. And he begot 3 sons, Sem, Cham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupted before God, and was filled with iniquity. And when God had seen that the earth was corrupted, for all flesh had corrupted this way upon the earth, he said to Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me. The earth is filled with iniquity throughout them, and I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark. Oh, his name's Noah, right. Make thee an ark of timber planks. Thou shalt make little rooms in the ark, and thou shalt pitch it within and without. And thus shalt thou make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the length of it, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Thou shalt make a window in the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish the top of it. And the door of the ark thou shalt set in the side, with lower middle chambers, and the 3rd stories shalt thou make it. Behold, I will bring the waters of a great flood upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein the breath of life under heaven. All things that are in the earth shall be consumed. And I will establish my covenant with thee, and thou shalt enter into the ark, thou and thee, thou and thy sons and thy wife, and the sons of thy sons with thee. And of every living creature of all flesh, thou shalt bring 2 of the sort into the ark, that they may live with thee, of the male sex and the female. Of fowls according to their kind, and of beasts in their kind, and of everything that creepeth on the earth according to his kind. 2 of every sort shall go in with thee, and that they may live. Thou shalt take unto thee of all food that may be eaten, and thou shalt lay it up with thee, and it shall be food for thee and them. And Noah did all things which God commanded him. And the Lord said to him, Go in, thou and all thy house, into the ark, for thee I have seen before me in this generation. Of all clean beasts take 7 and 7, the male and the female. Put of the beasts that are unclean 2 and 2, the male and the female. Of the fowls also of the air 7 and 7, of the male and the female, that seed may be saved upon the face of the whole earth. For yet a while, and after 7 days, I will reign upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy every substance that I have made from the face of the earth. And Noah did all things which the Lord commanded him. And he was 600 years old when the waters of flood overflowed the earth. I'm thinking Old Testament years may be different than today years, as in they probably used a different calendar while they were writing this. Because Noah was old, Jesus. And Noah went in, and his sons, his wife, and the wives of his sons with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, and of beasts clean and unclean, and of fowls, and of everything that moveth upon the earth. 2 and 2 went into Noah into the ark, male and the female, as the Lord has commanded Noah. And after the 7 days were past, the waters of the flood overflowed the earth. In the 600th year of the life of Noah, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, all of the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the floodgates of heaven were opened. And the rain fell upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day, Noah and Sem and Cham and Sephath, his sons, his wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, went into the ark. They and every beast according to its kind, and all the cattle in their kind, and everything that moveth upon the earth according to its kind, and every fowl according to its kind, all birds and all that fly, went into Noah unto the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein was the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in on the outside. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. The waters increased, and lifted up the ark on high ground from the earth, for they overflowed exceedingly, and filled all on the face of the earth, and the ark was carried upon the waters. And the waters prevailed beyond measure upon the earth, and all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered. The water was 15 cubits higher than the mountains which it covered, and all flesh was destroyed that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle, and of beast, and of all creeping things that creep upon the earth, and all men. And all things wherein there is a breath of life on earth died. And he destroyed all of the substance that was upon the earth, from man even to beast, and the creeping things and fowls of the air. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained, and they that were with him on the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Jesus Christ, God, you said there would be like 40 days and 40 nights. You didn't have to reign that long. And God remembered Noah, and all the living creatures, and all cattle which were with him in the ark, and brought a wind upon the earth, and the waters were abated. The fountains also of the deep, and the floodgates of heaven were shut up, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth, going and coming, and they began to be abated after 150 days. And the ark rested in the 7th month, the 7th and 20th day of the month, upon the mountains of Armenia. And the waters were growing and decreasing until the 10th month, for in the 10th month, the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains appeared. And after that 40 days were past, Noah, opening the window of the ark, which he had made, sent forth a raven. I thought it was a dove. I've been lied to by Sunday school. Which went forth, and did not return, till the waters were dried up upon the earth. He sent forth also a dove after him, to see if the waters had ceased upon the face of the earth. But she, not finding where her foot might rest, returned to him in the ark, for the waters were upon the whole earth. And he put forth his hand, and caught her, and brought her into the ark. And having waited yet 7 other days, he again sent forth the dove out unto the ark. And she came to him in the evening, carrying the bough of an olive tree, with green leaves in her mouth. Noah therefore understood that the waters were ceased upon the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and he sent forth the dove, which returned not any more unto him. Therefore in the 601st year, the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were lessened upon the earth, and Noah, opening the covering of the ark, looked, and saw that the face of the earth was dried. In the 2nd month, the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried. And God spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, thou and thy wife, thy sons of thy wives, and thy sons with thee. All living things that are thee of all flesh, as well as in fowls and beasts, and all creeping things that creep upon the earth, bring I with thee, and go ye upon the earth, increase and multiply upon it. So Noah went out, he and his sons, his wife, and the wives of his sons with him, and all living things and cattle and creeping things that crept upon the earth according to their kinds went out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and taking of all cattle and fowls that were clean, offered holocausts upon the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour, and said, I will no more curse the earth for the sake of man, for the imagination and thought of man's heart are prone to evil from its youth. Therefore I will no more destroy every living soul as I have done. All the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, night and day, shall not cease. And God blessed him, Noah, and his sons. And he said to them, Increase and multiply, and fill the earth. And let the fear and dread of ye be upon all the beasts of the earth, and upon all the fowls of the air, and of all that move upon the earth. All the fishes in the sea are delivered into your hand. And everything that moveth and liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herbs have I delivered them all to you. Saving that flesh with blood ye shall not eat. For I will require the blood of your lives at the hand of every beast, and at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man, and of his brother will I require the life of a man. Whatsoever shall shed man's blood, whosoever shall shed man's blood, his blood shall be shed. For man was made to the image of God. But increase ye and multiply, and go upon the earth and fill it. Thus also said God to Noah and his sons with him. Behold, I will establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living soul that is with you, as well as in all birds, and in cattle, and beasts of the earth, and that are come forth of the ark, and in all the beasts of the earth. I'm gonna have to stop the stream soon. I cannot speak anymore. I will establish my covenant with you, and all flesh shall no more be destroyed with the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be from henceforth a flood to waste the earth. And God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I give between me and you, and to every living soul that is with you, for perpetual generations. I will set my bow in the clouds, and it shall be the sign of the covenant between me and between the earth. And when I shall cover the sky with clouds, my bow shall appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you. With every little soul that beareth flesh, there shall be no more waters, of a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the clouds, and I shall see it, and shall remember the everlasting covenant that was made between God and every living soul of all flesh which is upon the earth. And God said to Noah, This shall be the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh upon the earth. And the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Sem, Sham, and Japheth, and Sham is the father of Canaan. These three are the sons of Noah, and from these was all mankind spread over the whole earth. And Noah, a husbandman, began to till the ground, and planted a vineyard. And drinking of the wine, was made drunk, and was uncovered in his tent. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna finish chapter 10, and then that's gonna be me. Generations has 50 chapters. Genesis. Which when Cham, the father of Canaan, had to wit, that his father's nakedness was uncovered, he told it to two brethren without, but Sem and Japheth put a cloak upon their shoulders, and going backward, covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were turned away, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awaking from the wine, when he had learned what his younger son had done to him, he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Sem, be Canaan his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Sem, and Canaan be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all his days were in the whole 950 years, and he died. Chapter 10. These are the generations of the sons of Noah, Sem, Sham, Japheth, and unto them sons were born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Moskoch, and Thyras. And the sons of Gomer, Aseneth, and Riphath, and Thogorma. Jesus Christ, who has this detailed records of sons and the sons of sons and what their exact names were? And the sons of Javan, Eliza, and Tharisa, Setim, and Dodanim. By these were divided the islands of the Gentiles in their lands, every one according to his tongue, and their families, and their nations. And the sons of Sham, thus, and Mesram, and Phuth, and Shanaan, and the sons of Chus, Saba, and Havilah, and Sabatha, and Regma, and Sabacha, the sons of Regma, Saba, and Dedan. Now Chus begot Nimrod. He began to be mighty on the earth, and he was a stout hunter before the Lord. Hence became a proverb, even as Nimrod, the stout hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babylon, and Iraq, and Achad, and Chalain in the lands of Sinor. Out of that land came forth Azur, and built Nineve, and the streets of the cities, and Shale. Rezin also between Nineve and Shale. This is the great city. And Mizraim begot Ladim, and Ananim, and Labim, and Nephilim, and Phatruzim, and Chazrazim, of whom came forth the Philistines, and the Capharim. And Canaan begot Sidon his firstborn, and the Hethite, and the Jebusite, and the Jebusite, and Amorite, and the Gergestite, and Hivite, and Arachite, the Sanite, and the Arabian, the Samorite, and the Hamathite. And afterwards the families of the Shanites were spread abroad. And the limits of Shaddan were from Sidon, as one comes to Genera, even to Gaza, until thou enter Sidon and Gomorrah. and Adama, and Seboim, even to Lessa. These are the children of Sham, in their kindreds and tongues, and generations, and lands, and nations. Of Sam also, the father of all children, Heber, the elderly brother of Japheth, sons were born. The sons of Sem, Elam, and Assur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram, Us, and Hul, and Gether, and Mes. Arphaxad begot Seal, of whom was born Heber. And to Heber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Phaleg, because in his days was the earth divided, and his brother in his name Jectan, which Jectan begot Elmoldad, and Selphest, and Asarmath, and Jer, and Joram, and Uzal, and Ilkah, and Debal, and Ibmael, and Sabah, and Orphir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were the sons of Jectan, and their dwelling was from Mesa, as we go on as far as Sephar, a mountain in the east. These are the children of Sem, according to their kindreds and tongues, and the countries of their nations. These are the families of Noah, according to their peoples and nations. By these were the nations divided on the earth after the flood. Right, ladies and gentle ladies, that's gonna be it. Yeah, I can't read more. My throat hurts. Bye.